She left me and our kids for a younger guy. Now she's jobless, homeless, and begging to come back. But what I said to her left her shaking. I never thought I'd be writing this, but here I am at 3 a.m., can't sleep, and I need to get this off my chest. Maybe some of you have been through something similar. Maybe you can tell me I'm not losing my mind. I'm Aaron, 37, and I work as an astronomical data analyst at a research observatory about 40 minutes outside the city. Sounds fancy, but it basically means I stare at computer screens all day, analyzing light patterns from telescopes, looking for anything unusual in the cosmos. I love my job. There's something humbling about studying objects billions of miles away while your own world is falling apart right under your nose. Demi and I met in college. She was studying music education, I was deep in astrophysics. Opposites attracted, I guess. She used to say my head was in the stars while her feet were firmly planted on Earth. 11 years of marriage, 3 kids, Sophia, 10, Oliver, 8, and Ruby, 5. We had what I thought was a solid life. Demi taught? I don't even know anymore, music at the local middle school. She's good at it. Really good. Kids love her because she makes learning fun, turns theory into games, has this way of making every student feel like they could be the next Mozart. At home, our house was always filled with music. Piano in the living room, guitars in the corner, Oliver's violin, Sophia practicing scales. Even Ruby had her little toy keyboard that she'd bang on while Demi played real melodies over the noise, making it sound like they were performing together. But something shifted about 6 months ago. It started small. Demi began complaining about her job more. Not normal work complaints, everyone has those. This was different. She'd stare at her lesson plans and say things like I'm teaching 12-year-olds to play Mary Had a Little Lamb while my talent rots. She'd been a performer in college, small gigs at coffee shops and bars. Good, but not great. She chose teaching for the stability, especially after Sophia was born. Now suddenly, that choice was suffocating her. The piano lessons she gave in the evenings started getting cancelled. First one here and there, I'm just too drained today. Then it became regular. Instead, she was going to open mic nights downtown. I need to remember who I am, she'd say, grabbing her guitar case. I supported it at first. Everyone needs an outlet, right? I'd handle bedtime, help with homework, make sure Ruby brushed her teeth. Demi would come home at midnight, eyes bright, talking about the real musicians she met, the authentic artists who weren't selling out to suburbia. Then came the wardrobe changes. Her teacher clothes, professional blazers and modest dresses, got shoved to the back of the closet. She started wearing flowing scarves, vintage band tees, ripped jeans to school. The principal called her in about dress code. She came home ranting about creative suppression and institutional imprisonment. Her phone was constantly buzzing. She'd smile at texts during dinner, excuse herself to take calls during the kids' bedtime stories. When I asked about it, she'd say it was about a collaborative opportunity or networking with other artists. She started a separate Instagram account, Demi Unchained, where she posted videos of herself playing guitar with captions about breaking free from societal expectations and rediscovering her authentic self. 2 weeks ago, we had the conversation that, looking back, should have been my wake-up call. I was in the kitchen, helping Oliver with his solar system project while Ruby colored at the table. Demi walked in, saw us there, a normal family evening, and just stood in the doorway with this look of disgust. "Don't you ever feel like we're just existing?" she said. "What do you mean?" I asked, hot gluing Jupiter to the poster board. "This." She gestured around. "Homework. Dinner. Bath time. Bed. Repeat. I had dreams, Aaron. I was going places." "You are going places. You're shaping young minds. You have students who adore you." "I teach middle schoolers how to play the recorder." She was almost yelling. Ruby looked up from her coloring. "I had talent. I had potential. And now I'm dying in this beige suburb, teaching scales to kids who don't even want to be there." "Mommy, I want to be there," Ruby said quietly. "I love when you teach me piano." Demi looked at Ruby, and for a second, I saw something cold in her eyes. "That's sweet, baby," she said, but her voice was flat. Then she walked out. I suggested couples therapy the next day. She laughed. Actually laughed. "Therapy? So someone can tell me it's normal to feel dead inside? That I should be grateful for my prison? No, thanks." Last Thursday, I was at work late. We'd received data from the Keck Observatory about a potential exoplanet, and I was deep in analysis. Lost track of time, occupational hazard when you're studying objects light years away. Got home around 10 p.m. My mom had picked up the kids from school and kept them for dinner, something she'd been doing more often lately since Demi had become unreliable. Mom's words, not mine. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Our bedroom door was closed, but I could hear movement inside. Drawers opening and closing. The zipper of a suitcase. I opened the door to find Demi surrounded by clothes, 2 large suitcases on the bed already full. She was packing her music equipment into boxes, sheet music, metronome, her good microphone. What's going on? I asked, even though part of me already knew. She didn't even look up. I'm leaving. Just like that. No build-up, no fight that triggered it. Just I'm leaving. Demi, what are you talking about? Where are you going? She finally looked at me, and her eyes were bright with something I hadn't seen in years, excitement. I've been dead inside for years, Aaron. Years. Going through the motions, pretending to be satisfied with lesson plans and PTA meetings and soccer practice. I met someone who sees me for who I really am. Someone who understands that I'm an artist, not a suburban robot. You met someone? The words felt foreign in my mouth. Tristan. He's a music producer. 28, and he's already worked with real artists. He was at the open mic last month, saw me perform. He says I have raw talent that's been suffocated by conformity. He wants to help me create something real. 28. A music producer. My wife was leaving me and our 3 children for a 28-year-old who fed her some lines about her raw talent. What about the kids? I asked. They'll be fine. Kids are resilient. And they have you, stable, reliable Aaron with his stable, reliable job. They don't need me holding them back. Holding them back? Demi, you're their mother. And I'll still be their mother. Just. From a distance. While I figure out who I am. While I become someone they can actually be proud of, not some bitter music teacher who gave up on her dreams. She zipped up the suitcases. Through the window, I could see headlights in our driveway. A van with band stickers all over the back window. He's here, she said, like she was announcing a pizza delivery. I watched her carry her suitcases downstairs. Watched her load her keyboards, her guitars, her boxes of music into this stranger's van. Our wedding photos still hung on the wall as she walked past them without a glance. The piano in the living room, the one we'd saved for 2 years to buy, where she taught all 3 kids their first songs, sat silent as she headed for the door. I'll be in touch about seeing the kids, she said. Once I'm settled. Once I figure things out. Then she was gone. Tail lights disappearing down our street while I stood in the doorway of a house that suddenly felt like a movie set, all the props still in place but none of the life. I walked upstairs to Ruby's room. Her little toy piano sat in the corner, the one Demi gave her last Christmas. Above it, Ruby had taped a drawing to the wall, stick figures labeled Mommy and Daddy and me and Oliver and Sophia, all holding hands in front of a house with music notes floating around it. I sat on Ruby's tiny bed, staring at that drawing, trying to figure out how I was going to explain to my 5-year-old that Mommy wasn't coming home. I didn't sleep that night. Kept checking my phone, expecting a text saying it was all a mistake. That she was coming back. Nothing. Just the house creaking in ways I'd never noticed before, probably because Demi's piano practice usually covered the silence. At 6 a.m., I called in sick to work, first time in 3 years. My supervisor understood when I said family emergency. Then I drove to my mom's to pick up the kids. The whole drive, I practiced what I'd say. Nothing sounded right. Mom opened the door before I knocked. One look at my face and she knew. "Oh, Aaron," she said, pulling me into a hug. "The kids are eating breakfast. Take your time." They were at her kitchen table, Sophia reading while eating cereal, Oliver building something with his toast, Ruby singing softly to herself. Normal morning. Last normal morning. "Dad." Ruby jumped up. "Grandma made pancakes. Why are you here? Is Mommy in the car?" That's when Sophia looked up from her book. "She's too smart, that one. Sees everything. Dad, what's wrong?" I sat down at the table. Oliver stopped playing with his food. Even Ruby went quiet. "Mom needs some time to work on her music," I said. The words felt like sand in my mouth. "She's going to be staying somewhere else for a while." "Where?" Oliver asked. "With a friend who's helping her with her music career." Sophia's eyes narrowed. "What friend?" "Someone from her music community. His name is Tristan." "When is she coming back?" Ruby asked. "I don't know, sweetheart." Ruby's bottom lip started trembling. But she's supposed to teach me twinkle twinkle with both hands. She promised. Oliver pushed his plate away. Is she leaving because of us? No. Absolutely not. This has nothing to do with you guys. Sophia stood up abruptly. I need to use the bathroom. She walked out, but I heard her footsteps go to the guest room instead. The door closed firmly. Mom helped me get them in the car. Ruby cried the whole way home. Oliver stared out the window. Sophia sat with her arms crossed, jaw clenched. When we pulled into our driveway, Oliver said, her car's gone. Yeah, buddy. So it's real. The first few days were hell. Ruby woke up every night asking for mommy. Oliver started having trouble at school. His teacher called saying he'd been distracted and emotionally volatile. Sophia threw herself into homework and wouldn't talk about it at all. When I tried, she'd say, I have a test tomorrow, and lock her door. 3 days after she left, I was making dinner, badly, when Sophia walked in with her phone. You need to see this, she said. Demi's new Instagram. A video of her in what looked like a professional recording studio, playing guitar and singing. Tristan visible in the background at a mixing board. The caption, finally living my truth, butterfly emoji, sparkles emoji, 3 days of pure creative energy with a Tristan beats. This is what freedom sounds like. Hashtag artistic awakening, hashtag no more cages, hashtag music is life. 3 days. While Ruby cried herself to sleep. While Oliver had a panic attack in the school bathroom. While I burned grilled cheese and tried to figure out how to do Ruby's hair for picture day. Don't show the others, I told Sophia. I'm not stupid, she said, then walked away. The financial hit came next. I checked our joint savings to transfer money for groceries, cleaned out. $8,000 gone. The summer camp money she'd been paid in advance by the school? Gone. Our shared credit card? Maxed out on charges from Guitar Center, recording equipment, and something called Vintage Vinyl Paradise. I made an appointment with a family lawyer the next week. Camille, a woman who looked like she'd seen every type of broken marriage possible. She wants weekends, Camille said, reading Demi's filing. Every other weekend, actually. Says she needs time to establish her new career path before taking on more parenting responsibilities. She's their mother. Not according to this. According to this, she's an artist who needs space to grow. Camille's voice was professionally neutral, but her eyes showed disgust. Document everything. Every missed call, every social media post during what should be parenting time, every expense. We're going for full custody. 2 weeks turned into a month. Demi texted occasionally, always about logistics, never asking how the kids were actually doing. Can I get them Saturday instead of Friday? I'll drop them off early Sunday, Tristan has a gig. The kids were struggling. Ruby stopped singing entirely. Not even humming. Oliver quit violin, said it sounded angry now. Sophia's piano recital was coming up, and she refused to practice. What's the point? She said when I asked. Music makes people leave. I found Oliver crying in his room one night, holding his violin. I thought if I got really good, she'd come back, he said. But I hate it now. It sounds like her. Started taking them to therapy. Dr. Rodriguez, who specialized in family trauma. The bills added up fast, but what else could I do? Ruby drew pictures in therapy, houses with no roofs, families with one figure scribbled out. Oliver talked about his angry feelings. Sophia refused to engage at first, then one day exploded about how selfish and fake her mother was. 6 weeks after she left, Demi's first official custody weekend arrived. She showed up 2 hours late. No apology, just traffic was awful, and we were in the studio until 4 a.m. You know how it is. No, I didn't know how it was. She looked different. Hair dyed darker, multiple new ear piercings, wearing clothes that seemed calculated to look artsy, ripped band tee, paint-splattered jeans that had never seen actual paint. Tristan waited in his van, didn't even come to the door. The kids were excited but nervous. Ruby had packed her favorite stuffed animals. Oliver brought his handheld game. Sophia had a book, already armoring herself with indifference. Be good for mom, I said, even though the words tasted bitter. Sunday morning, 10 a.m., 4 hours early, she brought them back. Tristan got a last-minute opening at this amazing venue in the city, she explained. You understand. Ruby was crying. Oliver looked exhausted. Sophia walked past me straight to her room and slammed the door. Ruby wouldn't stop crying about her stuffed elephant, Demi said, annoyed. And Oliver kept asking when we were going home. It was honestly exhausting. They're not adjusting well to change. They're not adjusting well? I wanted to scream. Instead, I said, they're kids who miss their mom. I'm literally right here. No, you're literally leaving. Again. She rolled her eyes. Don't be dramatic, Aaron. I'll see them in 2 weeks. After she left, I found Oliver sitting on the couch, game turned off. She doesn't have any food at her place, he said. Just wine and cereal. Tristan said kids are expensive and she laughed. Ruby hadn't let go of my leg since she walked in. Daddy, her new house doesn't smell like home. That night, after they were asleep, I sat at my computer to work on some telescope data. Needed the distraction. But I kept checking social media. Mistake. Demi had posted a video from the venue. Her performing on stage, maybe 30 people in the audience. The caption, living my best child-free weekend life. Thank you Tristan Beats for showing me what real support looks like. Hashtag freedom feels good, hashtag artist life, hashtag no regrets. Child-free weekend life. During her custody time. I screenshot everything. Added it to the growing folder Camille had asked me to maintain. Then I heard footsteps. Sophia stood in my office doorway, holding her phone. Her face was streaked with tears. I saw it too, she said. The post. I held out my arms and, for the first time since Demi left, my 10-year-old daughter collapsed against me, sobbing. Why doesn't she want us, Dad? She asked. What did we do wrong? Nothing. You did absolutely nothing wrong. Then why? I didn't have an answer. How do you explain to a child that sometimes parents choose themselves over everyone else? That sometimes love isn't enough to make someone stay? Sophia cried herself out, then went back to bed. I sat in my office, staring at the folder of screenshots, wondering how someone could throw away 3 amazing kids for 30 people in a dive bar and an Instagram fantasy. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I opened it. It was a photo. Demi and Tristan at what looked like a party. She was sitting on his lap, both of them clearly drunk, her wedding ring nowhere to be seen. Some other woman had sent it with a message, thought you should know what your wife is up to. She's been all over Tristan at every industry event. It's embarrassing. I stared at that photo for a long time, then added it to the folder. 18 months. That's how long it's been since Demi walked out that door with her suitcases and her delusions. 18 months of single parenting, therapy sessions, and slowly watching my kids heal from wounds their mother inflicted. But here's the thing about time, it has this way of revealing truth. And the truth was, we were actually doing okay. Better than okay. I got promoted to senior analyst after my work on the Koi 5ab exoplanet data helped confirm a decades-old hypothesis about multi-star systems. Turns out when you're not waiting up for someone who may or may not come home, you can focus better on transit photometry. The raise meant I could afford to keep the house and pay for the kids' therapy without draining my retirement. The kids had found the rhythm too. Ruby started singing again, not the same way, but different. She'd make up songs about stars and planets, asking me to check if her lyrics were scientifically accurate. Oliver picked up coding instead of violin, said he liked that computers did what you told them to, unlike people. Sophia threw herself into science, won the district science fair with a project on light pollution's effect on astronomical observation. She'd help me with my work sometimes, double-checking calculations. We'd replace the piano with a telescope in the living room. Friday nights became stargazing nights. We'd drive out to the hills, away from the city lights, and I'd teach them constellations. Ruby called them space connect the dots. It was our thing, untainted by memories of Demi. The divorce had been finalized 6 months ago. Full custody to me. Demi had to pay child support, $800 a month she never sent. Her teaching career was over, the school district had sued her for breach of contract and won. She was blacklisted from every public school in the county. Camille had done her job well. Demi's visits had become sporadic, then rare, then non-existent. The last time she'd seen the kids was 4 months ago. She'd shown up high, Tristan waiting in the car, and tried to take them to some immersive musical experience that turned out to be a rave. I'd refused to let them go. She'd screamed about parental alienation. Sophia had looked her dead in the eye and said, "You alienated yourself." That was the last time, but I kept tabs through mutual acquaintances. Not because I cared, but because I needed to know if she might show up and destabilize the peace we'd built. "You're not going to believe this," my friend Keith said over coffee. He worked at a music equipment shop downtown, knew all the local musicians. Demi came in yesterday trying to return $3,000 worth of recording equipment. Said she needed the money for rent. Tristan's not covering it? Word is, Tristan's parents found out he's been living off their money, not actually producing anything. They gave him an ultimatum: get a real job or get cut off. He's been trying to dump Demi for months, but she won't leave the apartment. I stirred my coffee, feeling nothing. Not satisfaction, not pity. Just nothing. A week later, more news trickled in. The principal from Demi's old school called me. Professionally, she couldn't gossip, but personally, she thought I should know Demi had applied for her old position. I'm not supposed to tell you this, she said, but she listed you as a reference. Said you'd vouch for her character and work ethic. I laughed. Actually laughed. She abandoned 30 students mid-semester. She traumatized kids who loved her. What work ethic? That's what I thought. We've also heard from other districts. She's applied everywhere. No one will touch her. The kids didn't know any of this. They'd stopped asking about their mother. Ruby occasionally said something like, "Remember when mommy used to?" But Oliver would change the subject. Sophia never mentioned her at all. Then came the school incident that changed everything. Sophia's spring concert. She'd been chosen for a solo, not piano, but vocals. She'd inherited Demi's voice, though she rarely used it. The music teacher had convinced her to try. "You'll come, right, Dad?" she'd ask nervously. Wouldn't miss it for the world. The morning of the concert, Demi texted me for the first time in months. Heard about Sophia's solo. "I want to be there. It's important I support her music." I showed Sophia the text. Her face went cold. "Tell her if she comes, I'm not performing." "Are you sure?" "She doesn't get to pretend to care now." "Tell her exactly what I said." I did. Demi responded with a long rant about parental rights and how I was poisoning the kids against her. Then, "I'm coming anyway." The concert was at 7 p.m. I arrived early with Oliver and Ruby, got seats in the third row. The auditorium filled with parents and siblings. Sophia peeked out from backstage, saw us, smiled nervously. At 6:55, Demi walked in. She looked rough. Hair greasy and pulled back, clothes wrinkled, makeup attempting to cover exhaustion. She spotted us, started walking over. "That's Mommy," Ruby whispered, shrinking into her seat. "I know. It's okay." Demi reached us. "Move over. I want to sit with my children." "These seats are taken," I said calmly. "By who?" "By the people who've been here for every concert, every practice, every moment for the past 18 months. Parents were starting to stare. Demi's voice got louder. "They're my kids too." "Then where were you for Ruby's kindergarten graduation? Oliver's coding competition? Sophia's science fair?" "I was building my career." "What career? The one that doesn't exist? The studio time that produced nothing? The gigs at dive bars for drink tickets?" Her face went red. She opened her mouth to respond, but then the lights dimmed. She had to find another seat, ended up in the back corner. Sophia performed beautifully. Her voice was clear, confident, nothing like the broken child from 18 months ago. When she finished, the auditorium erupted in applause. She found us in the crowd, smiled, took her bow. After the concert, we waited in the lobby. Sophia ran out, still in her concert dress, glowing with pride. Oliver high-fived her. Ruby hugged her legs. "You were amazing," I said. "Did she leave?" Sophia asked. I looked around. Demi was near the exit, on her phone. She looked up, saw us, started walking over. "Sophia, honey, you were wonderful," she gushed, reaching out for a hug. Sophia stepped back. "Thank you for coming. You can go now." I thought we could get ice cream. Celebrate. "We already have plans. With Dad." "Sophia, I'm your mother." "No. You're the woman who gave birth to me. Dad is my parent. Dad and Oliver and Ruby, they're my family. You're just someone who used to live in our house." Demi's mouth opened and closed like a fish. Other parents were pretending not to watch. "You don't mean that," Demi said weakly. "I do. And stop posting about being a mother on Instagram. It's embarrassing. Everyone knows you abandoned us." Sophia took Ruby's hand, nodded to Oliver, and they walked toward the exit. I followed, leaving Demi standing alone in the lobby. In the car, Sophia broke down. "Did I do the right thing?" "You stood up for yourself. That's always the right thing. She looked so pathetic. That's not your responsibility. We got ice cream. Posted a photo of the four of us with our cones. Hashtag family night, hashtag proud dad, hashtag concert celebration. Petty? Maybe. But it felt good. 3 days later, Keith texted me, "Dude, you need to hear this. Tristan kicked me out. His parents threatened to press charges for the credit card she maxed out in his name. She's been couch surfing for a week." I felt a twist in my stomach. Not sympathy. More like anticipation. Like watching a timer count down and knowing exactly when it'll hit 0. That evening, while I was helping Ruby with her reading, my phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Silence. Then, slurred, "Aaron?" To me. Drunk. "What do you want?" I messed up. I messed up so bad. The music thing. It was all fake. Tristan was using me. I lost everything. My job, my reputation, my kids. You didn't lose them. You threw them away. I need to come home. This isn't your home anymore. Please. Just to talk. Please. I hung up. Blocked the number. But I knew this wasn't over. 18 months of building a new life, and I could feel her circling back like a dying star's last gravitational pull before it collapses completely. My phone buzzed. Different number. A text, "I'm going to come by tomorrow. We need to talk about the kids. About us. I know I can fix this." I looked at my kids, Ruby practicing her reading, Oliver coding at his laptop, Sophia working on homework, all of them finally peaceful, finally stable. Over my dead body was she going to disrupt this again? But somehow, I knew tomorrow was going to be the day everything came to a head. I didn't tell the kids about the text. Kept the morning normal, breakfast, getting ready for school, Ruby insisting on wearing mismatched socks because they were more interesting. Dropped them off, went to work, but couldn't focus on the gamma ray burst data in front of me. My colleague noticed. "You good, Aaron? You've been staring at the same spectrograph for 20 minutes. Just thinking." I left work early, wanted to be home before the kids. Whatever was coming, they didn't need to see it. Called my mom, asked if she could pick them up from school and keep them for dinner. "Just in case," I said. "In case of what?" "Demi's been texting. She's spiraling. I'll keep them as late as you need." The afternoon dragged. I tried to work from home, but kept checking the windows. Every car that passed made me tense. At 7 p.m., nothing. Maybe she'd changed her mind. Maybe she'd found another couch to crash on, another person to manipulate. At 9 p.m., the kids were home, homework done, getting ready for bed. Ruby was in her pajamas, asking me to check under the bed for monsters, our nightly ritual. "No monsters," I reported. "You sure? Sometimes they hide really good." "I'm sure. Dad's got special monster detecting equipment from the observatory." She giggled. "That's silly." The doorbell rang. Ruby's eyes went wide. We never had visitors this late. Oliver emerged from his room. Sophia appeared at the top of the stairs. "Stay here," I told them. But they followed anyway. They knew. Somehow, they all knew. I opened the door, and there she was. Demi looked destroyed. Hair unwashed, matted in places. Makeup from maybe days ago smeared under her eyes. She was wearing the same band t-shirt I'd seen in social media posts from Tristan's gigs, now stained and wrinkled. She had a garbage bag, literally a black garbage bag, with what I assumed were her belongings. "Hi," she said, and her voice cracked. "What do you want, Demi?" Her eyes found the kids behind me. Ruby hid behind my leg. Oliver's face hardened into an expression no 8-year-old should have. Sophia crossed her arms. "My babies," Demi whispered, and tears started rolling down her face. "I missed you so much." "You missed us?" Sophia's voice was ice. "You missed us while you were posting beach selfies? While you were at music festivals during your custody weekends? While you were sitting on Tristan's lap at parties?" Demi flinched. "Sophia, why are you here?" Sophia demanded. Demi's legs seemed to give out. She literally fell to her knees on our porch, the garbage bag dropping beside her. "I lost everything. Tristan threw me out. Said I was too old, too expensive, too much drama. My career. There was no career. It was all lies. I can't get a teaching job anywhere. I've been sleeping in my car but it got repossessed yesterday. I have nowhere to go. And you thought you'd just come here? I asked. This is my home. No. This was your home. You walked out that door with suitcases and promises of finding yourself. Remember? You said we were holding you back. I was confused. I was having some kind of crisis. For 18 months? She turned to the kids, mascara now streaming. Please, babies. Mommy made a mistake. Don't you want us to be a family again? Ruby pressed harder against my leg. Oliver spoke first. You're not our mom. Oliver, Demi gasped. Moms don't leave. Moms don't choose boyfriends over bedtime stories. Moms don't miss concerts for parties. I'm still your mother. No, Ruby said quietly from behind my leg. Daddy is mommy and daddy. You're just the lady who makes us sad. Demi made this wounded animal sound. She reached out toward Ruby, who recoiled. Don't touch her, Sophia said sharply. Don't touch any of us. I'm your mother. You were, Sophia said. Past tense. You quit. You don't get to come back just because your boyfriend got tired of you. Demi turned to me, desperate. Aaron, please. Just let me stay tonight. Just the couch. I'll figure something out tomorrow. I'm begging you. Where were you when Ruby had nightmares for 3 months straight, crying for you? I didn't know. Where were you when Oliver's anxiety got so bad he couldn't eat? You never told me. Where were you when Sophia stopped playing piano because music reminded her of abandonment? That's not fair? Fair? My voice echoed off the houses. You drained our savings. You maxed out credit cards. You abandoned your students. You traumatized our children. You chose a 28-year-old's fantasy over your family's reality. And now you want to talk about fair? I was trying to find myself. And did you? Did you find yourself, Demi? Because from where I'm standing, you lost everything real while chasing something that never existed. She was sobbing now, ugly crying on our porch. The neighbors were definitely watching. Mrs. Patterson across the street had her curtains pulled back. I know I messed up, Demi wailed. But I'm still their mother. They need me. No, I said, and my voice was calm now. They needed you 18 months ago. They needed you 6 months ago. They needed you at concerts and competitions and bedtimes and morning drop-offs. But you weren't there. And slowly, painfully, they learned to not need you anymore. You turned them against me. I held them while they cried themselves to sleep. I took them to therapy. I answered their questions about why mommy loved music more than them. I didn't turn them against you. You did that yourself with every Instagram post, every missed weekend, every broken promise. She tried to stand but stumbled. Where am I supposed to go? I don't know, and I don't care. Maybe Tristan's couch. Maybe one of those authentic artists you met. Maybe your parents, if they'll have you. My parents said I made my bed. Then I guess you'll have to lie in it. Just not here. Not in this house. Not near these kids. I'll take you to court. I have rights. With what money? With what lawyer? You owe $14,400 in back child support. You're in contempt of court for missing 3 custody hearings. You have documented abandonment. Please, take me to court. Camille would love another crack at you. She looked past me at the kids one more time. Please. Just tell me you forgive me. Just tell me you still love me. Silence. Oliver turned and walked back to his room. Ruby whispered, I want to go to bed now, and I nodded for her to go. Sophia stayed. Stared at her mother. I'll tell you what you told us 18 months ago, kids are resilient. You'll be fine. Then she turned and walked upstairs. Demi sat on the porch, defeated. You're really going to leave me out here? With nothing? You left us with less. At least you're an adult who chose this. They were children who didn't. I started to close the door. Aaron, wait. She was desperate now. Remember when we met? Remember how we were? You loved me once. I loved someone who doesn't exist anymore. Maybe never did. The Demi I loved wouldn't have done this to her children. Wouldn't have chosen Instagram likes over Ruby's hugs. Wouldn't have picked studio time over Oliver's violin recitals. That's still me. I'm still in here. No. You're something else now. A dead star, still visible but the light's already gone. The real Demi, if she ever existed, died 18 months ago when she walked out that door. You're just the afterimage. I closed the door. Locked it. Through the window, I could see her sitting on the porch. She pounded on the door a few times, weakly. Begged. Cried. The motion sensor light eventually turned off, leaving her in darkness. An hour later, I checked again. She was gone. Sophia came back downstairs. Is she gone? Yeah. For good? I think so. She hugged me. Thanks for protecting us, Dad. Always. Can we look at Saturn tomorrow night? If it's clear? Sure. We can set up the telescope after dinner. She went to bed. I checked on Ruby, asleep, clutching her stuffed elephant. Oliver was reading with a flashlight. You okay, buddy? Dad? Did we do the right thing? What do you think? I think sometimes people break things so bad they can't be fixed. And that's not our fault. You're pretty smart for 8. 9 next month. Right. 9. 6 months later now, and life is good. Really good. The kids are thriving. Ruby sings constantly, songs about planets and stars and adventures in space. Oliver's teaching himself Python, wants to help with my data analysis. Sophia got accepted to an advanced science program for middle schoolers. Last week, I got a notification on my phone. Demi sent a payment request through an app. Message, for old time's sake? I just need enough for food. Sophia saw it while we were having breakfast. Block her, Dad, she said simply. We're looking at something actually beautiful here. She was right. We were eating pancakes I'd finally learned to make properly. Ruby was syrup covered and giggling. Oliver was explaining some coding concept to his sisters. Morning light streaming through windows. An actual family. I blocked her. Then I deleted the app entirely. We don't need that door anymore. It's not just closed, it's sealed, painted over, and we've built something new and stronger on this side of it. Sometimes, when I'm analyzing data from distant galaxies, I think about what Demi became. A collapsed star, dense with regret, pulling everything around it into darkness. But here's what I've learned about black holes: the best way to survive them is to stay outside their event horizon. We're millions of miles away now, and accelerating. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.